You got the promotion you worked for, the title, the responsibility, the pay bump, and then silence. No real mentorship, just MS Teams messages and the expectations that you'll figure it out. When you struggle, they call it a confidence problem. It's not, it's isolation. I'm Dr. Tonya Biglow, and this is the first episode of the Leadership Gap Nobody Talks About. It's a 12-part series on the leadership challenges technical professionals face that no one is addressing today. So now we're going to talk about something I see destroy more new leaders than any skill gap: leadership isolation. And I'm going to give you the exact 3-step framework I use to help the technical leaders go from completely alone to having a 3-person support system in just 1 week. Today, we're talking about something that I see destroy more new leaders than any skill gap, and that's the leadership isolation. And I'm going to give you the exact 3-step framework I use to help a technical leader go from completely being alone to having a 3-person support system in just 1 week. Here's what leadership isolation looks like. You're making decisions you've never made before: hiring, firing, budgets, strategy, and there's no one to ask. Your old peers, they're awkward now. They don't know how to talk to you anymore. Your manager, too busy, or they assume you should already know this stuff. Your team, you can't show weakness. You're supposed to have all the answers. So what do? You Google it. You read articles at midnight and you hope you're doing it right. And when you mess up, and you will because you're learning, they don't say you need support. They say maybe you're not ready. Let me be very clear on this. This is not your failure. This is a systematic failure. Organizations promote people without building the infrastructure to support them. And then they act surprised when new leaders struggle. I worked with one technical leader who was a brilliant engineer, and they just got promoted, who told me, I feel like I'm faking it every single day. She was working 60-hour weeks, taking on everything herself because she didn't know who to ask for help. She thought the problem was her, that she wasn't leadership material. But when we mapped out her support system, here's what we found. She had none. 0 mentors, 0 peer relationships at her level, 0 internal confidence practices. She was operating in complete isolation. So we built her a support system in 1 week. 3 people, 3 dimensions of support. And within 30 days, she told me, Tonya, I finally feel like I can breathe. That's what we're building today. Every leader needs 3 dimensions of support, not 1, not 2, 3. Everyone needs internal support. This is your relationship with yourself, your self-talk, your practices, your belief system. Before you reach outward, you have to build inward. Here's what it looks like. You should have a daily reflection practice, 5 minutes a day. You should ask yourself, what went well, what didn't go well, and what do I need to learn? You also need an evidence journal. Write down every win, every compliment, every proof that you belong here, because on hard days, you'll forget. And then you also need affirmation anchors, not toxic positivity, real statements. I'm learning, I'm capable, I'm figuring this out. That's what you need. Most new leaders skip this step because they think they just need a mentor. But if you don't believe in yourself, no amount of external validation will stick. In the second dimension, we need support from above. This is a mentor. You need guidance from someone who's been where you're going. But here's the mistake. Most people think their direct manager should be this person. Not always. Your manager might be too busy, or they may not have the expertise that you need, or, and now this one is real, they might see you as a threat. So here's what you do instead. Find a senior leader in your organization. Someone may be 2 levels up, someone may be in a different department, which is less political, and someone who's known for developing people. Here's how you ask. I'm growing into this leadership role, and I'd love to learn from your experience. Could we meet once a month for 30 minutes? That's what you ask them. You also should find an external mentor, a former boss, a professor, an industry connection, or a coach. That's where I come in. You don't need permission to have a mentor. You just need to ask for one. And then in the third dimension, you need peer support. This is lateral support, someone at your level who gets it, not your old teammates. They're not in your seat anymore. You need someone who's navigating the same challenges, politics, and the same what do I do now moments. Here's 2 types of peer support. Your wing person, which is internal, someone on your team or in your department, someone you can reality check decisions with. someone who has your back in meetings. This is how you build that relationship. Identify one person who's competent, trustworthy, and not competing with you. Invest in that relationship. Grab coffee, ask their opinion, make them your thought partner. And then you also need an external peer network. So like leadership cohorts, industry groups, LinkedIn connections who are in similar roles. This is how you build that relationship. Join one community, show up, engage, don't lurk. Here's why peer support matters. It's where you realize, oh, everyone's figuring this thing out. I'm not the only one. So here's your homework. For this week, you're building all three dimensions. So on Monday and Tuesday, what I want you to do is build your internal support system. Start with your evidence journal. Write down 3 things you've done well this month. I want you to create an affirmation anchor, something true, something you can always come back to. On Wednesday and Thursday, I want you to look for support from above. Identify one potential mentor, internal or external. Draft the ask, keep it simple, 30 minutes once a month. That's it. And then on Friday, we're going to build peer support. Identify your wing person, one teammate you can reality check with. Join one external community. Show up once, see if it's a fit. That's it. You don't need to do this perfectly. You just need to get started. Listen, leadership isolation is real, but it's not permanent. You don't have to figure this out alone. And you don't have to wait for your organization to figure it out. You can build your own support system starting today. In our next episode, we're tackling the executive presence trap. We're going to learn what it really means and why leaders from underrepresented backgrounds are told they don't have it. Until the next episode, I want to hear from you. Have you felt isolated in your leadership role? What has helped you break through? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. I'm Dr. Tonya Biglow. This is the leadership gap nobody talks about. Let's close those gaps together.